When you start a new project in robots structure software, you need to make some settings that will help you avoid issues in your project later. In this video, Paul Muhindi will show you just that, a step-by-step method of making essential settings in your new robots structure project. Now, these settings are applicable no matter the size and accuracy required for your project. So with that, let's get started.
In today's video, we are diving into robot structural analysis, or RSA, which is a very powerful tool for structural engineers. So I'll be guiding you through the essential settings to create a new project in RSA, from template and project units to job preferences. So whether you're just setting up a large scale project or fine-tuning your specific structural detail, these settings will greatly help you streamline your workflow and ensure accuracy in your analysis. So after you have launched your specific software, for my case, I'm using the Robot Structural Analysis Professional 2024, the first thing that you need to do is to specify your template. So your template is a very important thing when it comes to robot, because it just simply makes your work way easier, especially if you're working between RC members or steel members. By default, you usually have these four categories here. The most preferred ones to you as a designer. But if you want to explore more options, just simply click on new and you're going to find more options down here. You can even design specific RC elements if you want, or even just connections of the steel members. But for our case, we're just going to go with the frame 3D design. So I'm going to just click on this once to launch it. So once you have specified your template, the next thing that you need to do is to specify your project information. And to do that, you just simply go to File, and under that, you're going to find the Project Properties option. So click on this option once, and this pop-up window is going to be shown. So from here, you can give more information about the project. Let's say, for example, you want to give information about the revision number. Let's say revision A, the phase that you're in. Let's say we go to the APD, or the approved one, and then you can give the name of your specific structure, and you can give the city or the address that you're working on. Let's say for this case is USA. You can even give comments about it, and once you're done, you can also give information about the architect, the investor, the contractor, so on and so forth. Let's say we give the name of the contractor to be like source code, and you can give the responsible person. Let's say in this case, we can just say Paul. Just for accountability, let's say like the project manager, you can give the telephone information, the email, the fax, so on and so forth. And not only that, if you navigate to the statistics, you're going to find the template that you specified. So for our case, we have the frame 3D, and it has already been saved for our specific project. And if you had already saved your specific project, you're going to find the file, you're going to find the location, you're going to find the size, and more statistics, even about the created, the modified information, the revision number, so on and so forth. So after you've done that, all you have to do is to click on OK, and they're going to be saved within your project. The next thing that you need to check is your units. So basically, in your robot structural analysis software, you're going to find your units by just looking at this M here. You're going to find out that you're using the metric, and for this case, we have meters. And you're going to see negative 40 meters on this side, and where we have our number lines over here, the same thing here. And you're going to find the same meters or dimensions here. So this is M, kilonewtons, degrees, just showing the units that you're working with. So to specify or to set your units, just simply click on this once, and this pop-up window is going to be shown. So this is basically the job preference window. Alternatively, you can find the same option by navigating to Tools, and under Tools, you're going to find the job preference window. Alternatively, you can also click on this gear icon or this spanner icon that is shown here. Just simply navigate to this option, job preferences, and the same command will be launched. So from here, if you want to specify your units to Imperial immediately, you just click on the units and formats, then click on Imperial. It's going to ask you, do you want to change all your units? Just click on yes. And then if you click on OK, you're going to find that your units have been updated accordingly to Imperial. So I'm just going to click on this to navigate back, and I'm going to reset it to metric. I'm going to click on yes. And under dimensions, we can specify specific items. Let's say if you want to go with meters or centimeters or millimeters, you're going to specify from here. And the same thing applies to all of them in accordance to what they're measuring. Is it square meters, square centimeters, square feet, so on and so forth. And you can change your decimal places from here. This is the third decimal place, then the fourth, the fifth, so on and so forth. You can specify from here. You can also look at forces, other items such as the displacement, millimeters, the weight of the structure. You can all change from here. Not only that, you can also look at your materials. So basically, if you're designing your structure and you want to design for Eurocode, you just simply navigate to this list, specify Eurocode, and all of the basic set will be set over here. But if you want to narrow down, you can go, let's say, to S275. If you want to specify your concrete class, you can specify from here, from this available list. You can also specify the aluminium, timber, so on and so forth. Not only that, you can also look at the databases that you're working with. This can be now the UK or the British, so on and so forth. If you're not satisfied with the default ones, you just click on this tree to expand it, and then you can now specify the specific item. Let's say for the steel and timber sections, if I cannot find Eurocode from here, all I have to do is to click on this gear icon or this icon once, and this pop-up declaring section table window will be shown. And all I have to do is to click on this drop down, navigate, let's say, to Euro, and if I have it in my PC, all I have to do is to click on browse and specify it, then click on OK, and then it will be added within this list. So I'll just select it and it will be activated to be my default, or I can just simply move it all the way up to make it my database. You can also go through all these other settings and specify the one that you prefer. When it comes to the design codes, you can now specify in depth the specific design code that you want to use for your steel connections, your steel structures, so on and so forth. So if you click on this drop down and you navigate to more, you can be able to select the ones that you want. Let's say if you're designing in India, you're going to use the IS 800 is 2007 version. By clicking on this arrow, you're just going to be adding it to your current code, and then you can specify set as current, then click on OK, and you're going to find it here. But if you want to design with any other project or any other code, you're going to just simply select it, set as current, then hit on OK, and it's going to be updated accordingly. And if you want to narrow down, you just click on that, go to load, and now specify the specific items. If it's for the load combinations, just click on this drop down, click on more, and you're going to find more information. And this ellipse is just to go now into the specific load combination and see the specific formulas and settings that are being used. And you can even edit, you can be able to specify your specific preferences from here. But I'm not going to go in depth about all that. I'm just going to close from there. So all these other settings, I just usually leave them as is. And then if you want to save, you just simply click on save, and then you can specify the name that you want to use. Let's say for this case, we can call it just source code, and then just click on save. And just like that, it will be saved as a specific default preference. Then I'll click on OK. So after doing that, the next thing that we usually do is just to look at other preferences. Let's say for this case, I am not satisfied with the way the user interface looks like. So I'll just simply close on this. All I have to do is just to navigate to preferences. So go to tools, go to preferences here, or alternatively click on this icon and then click on preferences. And from here, you can specify various kind of things. Let's say if you want to change your language to something else, if you want to work with Euro, you can just specify Eurocode here. And if you want to change the working language, let's say from English to Italian, you can just specify here. And if you want to change, let's say the printout language, let's say to something like Japanese, you can specify from here. So there are so many things that you can be able to change from here. And once you're satisfied, you can just click on accept. But this is a very interesting combination. So you can also look at general parameters, let's say the number of items being showed, but those are not important when starting up your design. But this is important, especially depending on the screen that you're working with. If it's too bright, you can just simply change from here. Let's go with dark green. And then once you click on accept, it's going to change the background. But I won't click on accept because it's going to change the language and other settings, which I don't want. You can also look at the toolbar menu if you want to add your icons here and you want to find them very fast, or even specify smaller icons for your design. You can always specify from here. Not only that, you can also specify your printout parameters. Let's say for this case, you're not satisfied with this color coding that is being used here. All you have to do is just to change the specific preset that has been created, or you can create your very own by clicking on color, specifying the color that you want, or by clicking on font, specifying the font that you want, so on and so forth. But for my case, I do not usually change this very much, but you can change items such as the dimension line. Say you want to work with something like this, you can specify from here, or even the printout. Do you want to use dash lines, or you want to use solid lines, or if you want to even change the line weight, you can just go here, change the line thickness, and you can either increase or reduce from here. Once that's done, all you have to do is to click on accept, but for my case, I'll just hit on cancel because I don't want to save those specific changes. So after you've done all that, all you have to do is just to create your axis. This is your grids and your levels. And to do that is quite simple. You just simply navigate to this first option here, which is the axis definition, or navigate to geometry. And under the second option, you're going to find axis definition, or just hit on GR on your keyboard. And this pop-up window will be shown, which is the structural axis window. From here, you can specify the specific dimensions that you want to work with, and you can just usually look at the Cartesian plane here and you can add what you want. Let's say if you want to just come up with a very simple grid line, let's say go with 5 meters, click on add, they're going to be added here. I can change the numbering, let's say A to B, go to Y, change the number of repeats, let's say I want to go with 3, then I go with 4 meters, click on add them here. With Z, let's say only 2 levels, then I want to go with the distance of, let's say 3.15, then click on add, and just like that, they're going to be added. And once I hit on apply, they're going to be added within our project. And if I wanted to create a new axis, all I had to do is click on new. And if I want to manage, I'll just go to axis manager and I'll find my list of the many axes that I have. So I'll click on close, and to visualize our 3D, I have just to navigate to this ZX and click on 3D. But for your case, maybe if you're using a different template, you're going to find the view 3D option tab from here. So I'm going to go to ZX, click on 3D from here. And just like that, I can be able to view our structure in the 3D. So that's the way we set up our units for our new drawing. Once satisfied, all you have to do is to save it. Either click on this icon save, or navigate to file, click on save, and you're going to specify the folder that you want to save. So for this case, let's say I save it under desktop, and I'll just call it RSA new drawing settings. Then I'm going to click on save. But before that, you can always change the type of file format that you want to save with, but I usually save it under robot because that is a default robot file. Once that's done, I'll just click on save. And if you look up here, it's going to be updated RSA new drawing settings. So a frequent asked question is that, can somebody be able to change their units mid-project? So let me show you what usually happens. If I go to file, click on open project and specify, let's say a certain project that I have here. So if I specify on this project, this is the project that we have gone through in our completely free essential robot course, which I have linked down in the description. If I select on it and open it, so if I wanted to change my units within this specific project, and you can clearly see here, we have this view tab. It's a bit different template that we use for this design. If I click on units and I change it to imperial, it is possible to change. Robot allows you to change it within mid-project, which is something that I really like, and it preserves everything that was within the project. So even if you want to measure, let's say we go to tools and go to dimension lines, or hit on DI on our keyboard to launch the dimensions option. If we measure from this point, we can clearly see that our parameters are in feet. Let's say we measure from this point up to this opposite point, and let's say now place our dimension, let's say around here, we can clearly see that we are working with 52 feet. And if I hit on escape, then navigate back to my units just by clicking this option here, navigate to units and formats, click on metric, click on yes, click on OK. It's going to update automatically to meters. And that's the beauty of robot, especially if you're working with people who use different dimensions or different units. So if you are interested to learn how to use robot, kindly make sure to check out our free course that we have in our website. So all you have to do is just navigate to sourcecat.com, and this is the homepage that we have. All you have to do is just click on log in, and once you're logged in within your specific account, for my case this is the account. So all I have to do is to navigate to dashboard. So currently I'm under dashboard, and then I scroll down, navigate to robot structure. So once I click on this, it's gonna just simply redirect me to where we have these courses. So this is a completely free course that once you go through it, you're gonna learn all that you need about robot structural analysis, where we're going through a standard project that is gonna help you understand. And we just have a total of 61 videos alone, and you're gonna be able to understand. So that's simply how you run using robot structural analysis. Alright, so just to wrap up, we have covered everything that you need to understand about starting a new project in RSA, from selecting your template to specifying your project units through the job preferences, and also looking at various items about the preferences that you can always change. So as you have already seen, setting this up correctly from the beginning will greatly help you save your time, improve your accuracy, and enhance the quality of your analysis.
So that was all about making the essential settings in new robots structure project. Which topic you want us to cover next? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.